Well, I think in some ways California is already a model, right? California has been a leading light in terms of thinking about the intersection between climate change and the need to build out a new clean energy economy.
The infrastructure is the key. And if we can't build chargers or hydrogen fueling centers, we're not going to get to these zero emission goals and reduce the emissions that we need, especially in our Black and brown communities.
It's wonderful to be able to connect with folks who are doing similar or aligned work in other regions to share promising practices, best practices, but also the content is phenomenal.
You know, I think it's important to acknowledge a lot of progress, particularly the last few years. I mean, you're taking the 5th largest economy in the world and decarbonizing it over the next 20, 25 years. That's a major lift.
So often in these spaces that, bring together a mixture of industry and community reps, certain interests get to set the agenda and who comes to speak. And I think what really stands out to me about this is that industry, community advocates, elected officials are all put at the table together and all given equal voice. And that is really unique.
When you look at our talent pipelines, we have to make sure that we're actually driving systematic change. And so a lot of the things that we're talking about across this entire summit through our California Jobs First programming, other initiatives like K-16 is how can we connect talent to opportunity and make sure that we continue these conversations, right? Take them back to our communities.
When we're talking about inclusive development, we're really trying to shift the paradigm to think about what would it look like to innovate and really create an economy that serves everybody. It's including people in the process of self-determination and of development. It's bringing all of the various stakeholders to the table to figure out how we move forward as a state, but it's also really thinking about how we create abundance, how we move towards an economy that has enough for everybody and that really is able to meet the diverse needs of a state like California.
Schools in California need to be agents of transformation regardless of the economic status of your parents.
We want policymakers, institutional leaders to value economic mobility as much as they value completion. It's not enough to just complete a credential. We should be responsible and accountable for ensuring that that learner who gains that credential has access now to that career, to that economic outcome.
We can do both. We can have safe, reliable, locally sourced energy, and we can also invest in the future. Both can happen together.
For those that are, the first time and if they're interested about, hey, should I get connected? I would just say, register as soon as you can and get out here because it's going to be a solid event.
It was so exciting for us to have the California Economic Summit here in Sacramento. We saw it as a great opportunity to showcase our region.
Really getting to see a unique landscape of California. We're right in the heart of a lot of mobility and transportation, but we're also in the thick of agriculture. So our 3-county region of North Valley Thrive is really, the place that it all happens when you grow your products and you build your manufacturing and you distribute it around the world. So we're really at the epicenter of all of that, and we're excited about showcasing that.
This is one of the few events in the state of California that really tries to break down all of those silos and say, look, we have a bunch of shared concerns and issues and opportunities, and let's get together and talk about how to do them and how to be innovative.